It's your turn to help them now. We're here to show you how.
If you're an adult caring for your parents, or as I call it, a reverse parenter, you may feel isolated and stressed out. But I'm here to tell you, you are not alone. In fact, the National Institute of Aging estimates that there are over 40 million Americans who are taking care of their parents, and 60% of them are also working full-time. Strangely, there's no name for this very large group of people, which is why I coined the term reverse parenting. Because in fact, that's exactly what you're doing. As your parents advance in age and lose their ability to care for themselves, physically and cognitively, you wind up acting towards them as they did toward you, but in reverse. Because as you grew up and became an adult, and you became more and more independent, they're becoming more and more dependent upon you. And while you fill them with love and you do everything you can to take care of them, there's nothing you or they can do to reverse that process. It's not a job you signed up for, and it's not something that you expected to be doing. You also weren't prepared for it because there's no training that we have developed that can actually prepare you. You weren't told in high school or in college that you were going to be taking care of your parents. In fact, you were told the opposite, that your parents were going to retire and be comfortable and be on their own while your career developed and your family developed. But here we are. The fact that your parents have grown so old and are becoming more and more dependent is a side effect of the fact that our modern medical system has allowed them to grow older and to have a better quality of life. Unfortunately, we have not found a way to keep joints young, to keep muscles young, and we have made no progress in terms of preventing dementia from setting in. Dementia, of course, is the most cruel of diseases because it robs your parents of independence, of their memories, of their ability to think and interact with people, and of their ability to, as our parents become more dependent on us for medical care, food, transportation, and financial support, the stress grows ever larger on reverse parenters. Not only do you have now to pay for your own bills, and sometimes for the bills of your kids, but you now need to support another member of the family who cannot contribute generally in any way. Often their savings are exhausted, and the amount of money that they have has been far outstripped by the cost of medical care. This all comes with a financial toll, of course, but the biggest issue that a lot of reverse parenters face are the emotions that are associated with taking care of parents. These emotions come from a lot of different places. First of all, it is just hard to watch your parents grow older and become more dependent. It's hard to watch them as they lose their dignity, lose their independence, lose their ability to interact with their friends, watch their friends die, and for them to be in pain. It's also hard because sometimes as parents grow older and dementia sets in, they begin to lose their ability to suppress some of the old arguments that they may have had with you in the past. Things that you and they thought were resolved may come up again. They also may lose the ability to distinguish between reality and whatever their passing thoughts are or imagination. Sometimes their past memories are going to intrude on what they're thinking, and they'll confuse you with other people. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes they have happy memories, but when they have bad memories, you may get pulled into them. All of this is incredibly difficult to absorb, especially since you can't know what's going on in their minds. The single most difficult emotional strain that I see over and over again in reverse parents, and a situation where they all think they're completely alone, is guilt and shame. Because as you watch your parents grow older and sometimes suffer, you begin to wish that they were no longer suffering. And then you have the realization that you are thinking that you wish that they were dead. And then you backpedal and think, oh my gosh, I don't want them to be dead and I don't want to wish them dead. But then you think again, I do want them to stop suffering. And so this cycle begins and the guilt and the shame begins. And nobody wants to talk about that with their parents. Nobody wants to talk with their loved ones about it. It's difficult to talk with anybody about it. and everybody feels isolated. I'm here to tell you it is very common, it is normal, it does not make you a bad person. It makes you a stressed, loving reverse parenter.
It's your turn to help them now.